week since his late arrival. What have you seen from him to give you the confidence to push him up that far so quickly?
Yeah, he's been amazing. I mean, you know, and he missed about a week of camp, so that just goes to show you again. He got behind because he had a little injury he had to battle back from, but he's just a special young talent. I mean, again, you never really know, and especially in this world, because we hadn't seen these guys. I hadn't seen him in, shoot, it was, I don't know, a year and a half plus since I had put my eyes on him. And so you just don't really know, you know, where they were. And he shows up in here 338 pounds and lean 338 pounds, and one of the strongest kids in the weight room. I mean, unbelievable how strong he is and how powerful he is. So physically, you know, okay, wow, this guy, you know, as you watch in the summer, he's like physically, he's ready to go. Well, where's he going to be mentally? And man, he really has picked it up well. I mean, he's got a, you know, just a natural grasp of football. And, you know, a lot of it, I think he played a lot of D-line. You know, in fact, that's originally how we first saw him. He was a D-lineman. And wanted to see him as an offensive guy. And he kind of jumped over there and played some offensive line for us in camp. And that's kind of how we got started with him. But I think he's got a bright future. I mean, I really do. He can play tackle. I mean, he's a legit dual guy. So he's not, you know, I wouldn't say he's fully functional, but he's heading that way. And super excited about his future.
Did any of the running backs distinguish themselves as the best blocker of the group during camp or last week?
I think they're all, you know, solid. I mean, they're all willing. You know, that's the first thing is you got to be willing. And you know, they got great toughness to them. Obviously, Linjay's got plenty of experience, but Kobe is a big, strong dude. Shipley and Maffa have been here since January. Dukes is a redshirt sophomore. So, you know, I think they've all demonstrated the ability to get the job done, what we need them to do from a blocking standpoint, from protection. You know, I think they got a good understanding of the defensive structures and where they fit in protection-wise. So it's a good group. It's a good room.
You mentioned Georgia's attempts to try to corral the run game, how good they are against the run. You guys over the last couple of years with Travis were regularly able to use him out of the backfield as a receiver. Do you think, like, with the talent that you guys have there, that skill sets are enough that you can still do that as routinely as you were, particularly last year when defenses are gearing up against the run?
Yeah. We've always involved our running backs, you know, for years in the passing game. They've always been a factor for us. Travis just developed into a, you know, really special guy. And I think, you know, that was a reflection of kind of who we were personnel-wise last year. You know, people were not going to – they were not going to let us run the football. And, you know, we threw for more yards than I think ever. And as a result, they just were not going to let us run the football. And, you know, we weren't quite as good in that area as we needed to be. But, you know, we gave ourselves a chance, you know, week in and week out, and made it work. You know, but they weren't going to just let us hand that ball to, you know, now, you know, we didn't have Ross, we didn't have Ngata, we didn't have Ladd, we didn't have, you know, we were thin in some areas. And, you know, so thankful, proud of what Cornell and Amari were able to do last year, because that was a big reason why we were able to have the type of season that we had. But, you know, hopefully we can be a little bit more of a threat in all areas, you know, down the field, everywhere, to create a little more balance. You know, that's certainly what we want, but, you know, you're always just trying to do what you got to do to win the game.
In terms of the running back situation, you had the guy, you know, the past few years. Do you anticipate that position looking maybe a little bit differently, where maybe the carries are balanced?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be different, you know, for sure. I think you know, probably more, you know, like 2018, we played a lot of guys in the backfield. You know, we played a good bit. You know, we had Wayne Gallman, who kind of emerged, you know, as the guy, but we still had a pretty good rotation there. But, you know, last year it was, you know, Travis, he was just, he became the guy. and was awesome. And again, we weren't going to let people take him out of the game. That's why he, really grew from a passing game standpoint. We found ways to get him the ball, and he was able to show his diversity and how much he had improved. He didn't show up here that way, that's for sure. But man, he worked himself into being a complete player there, and I think we're further ahead at that position as far as the guys there and being dual threat guys. There's not any of them that doesn't catch the ball well. I think they all fit what we need from a scheme standpoint. But yeah, we'll see if somebody becomes a guy. I think you'll probably all see it. But what we've seen on the practice field, we think we got a lot of guys. It's a really, there's no rule that says one guy's got to be the guy. Ain't nothing wrong with having a bunch of guys. We played Alabama in 2018. They had Damian, Najee, and I think Josh Jacobs was the third team guy. So, they were all guys. And I think that's, I'm not saying these guys are those guys. I'm just saying I think that's kind of where we are. We've got good players, and we've got good young players that are just going to get better. So I'm excited about the room, and some guy will get hot from time to time, but I don't see a situation where we've got just one guy going out there getting 25, 30 carries. I think these guys all deserve to play, and again, that could change as we go down the road, but it's a really talented group.
Dabo, receiver, did anyone separate behind Justin Ross as far as like the next number 2, number 3 guy going?
Justin is kind of in a league of his own, just simply because of where he is developmentally. This guy's played a lot of football, and he came in here elite, and he's mentally where he is. He's just in a great place, technically, fundamentally, knowledge, system, you name it. He just gets it. But as I've said many times, this is as talented a group as we've probably had. And I told Grisham that on picture day. I said, you need to take a picture of this group and pull it out in about 6 years. This is going to be a special group when it's all said and done. You'll look back 6, 7 years from now and go, wow, all them guys were in the same room. EJ is, I think, a dynamic young player. He's so much different than he was last year. Joe is it's unbelievable, the transformation that's happened in that kid. And then Frank and Gata are elite guys. They just got to be available. It's just really that simple. As I've said that, they just have had, good freshman years, and then last year they just weren't available. And that's just the way it is. But high level guys. I've seen it. In Gata, man, this kid he's as talented a big guys we've had come through here. But consistently doing it on game day just hasn't happened yet. Again, made some big as a freshman, but last year just wasn't available. A few snaps here or there, and was hurt. So I'm really excited about what I've seen. I thought he had a great spring, and he's had a really good last 10 days or so. But we've got to see it on game day. And same thing with Frank. I've seen splashes and good moments, but consistently being there. And then the 2 freshmen, Bo and Dakari, they've been here since January, so they're kind of like redshirt freshmen. Man, these are really, really talented young players. And so that whole group is going to help us. It's kind of like our running back room. I feel great about the depth there. Troy came in. He was hurt, missed a lot of the skills and drills, then hurt first part of camp and got behind. He's a super talented kid, but he's just behind. And, you can only rep so many guys. So, but he's going to be a great player. So it's a really good room. But you'll see a bunch of guys have opportunities, but hopefully, those veteran guys will be able to be who we know they are week in and week out for us.
Who's been your best finisher downfield among those guys so far?
All of them have made plays. I chunk it up to any of them. They've all had their moments. There's not one of them that I don't believe in as far as winning one-on-one and making competitive plays.
Brady Galloway was pretty blunt in camp just about his assessment and needing to get better as a blocker. Did you see the improvement you wanted to this past month in that regard?
Yeah. He's the same thing. He's played a lot of high-level football. He's got a lot of self-awareness. He knows what he wants to do long term. He knows where he's got to take his game. And biggest thing is he's a tough kid and very willing. Physically, he's in a good place with his body. So, you know, he's the same thing. Got to go put it on tape, and you know, he'll lose some battles, but he's just got to win a whole lot more than he loses, and be effective. You know, we all know what his strengths are, so he's just got to improve in that area. And it's definitely something that he knows because he wants to be a complete player at the position. He really cares about that, and that's what I love about him.
Coach, in what areas have you seen the offensive line grow throughout camp to be ready for this high-level matchup?
Just more depth. That's probably the biggest thing. More functional guys. You know, last year, if we'd have been going into this game, we'd have had 5 guys, and we'd have been saying, all right, well, maybe Walker Parks could go in there and play a series in a game like this, you know, right out of the gate. But I think we got more guys that we can put in there in the heat of the battle in a game like this and can you know, can function and get the job done for us. So that's the biggest difference for us. We just got more depth. We're still, you know, we got to go play. We got to go get better. And regardless of what happens in this game, we for either team, the one thing I can tell you about this game is both teams are going to get better. Both teams will get better from this game. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, but both teams are going to improve because again, it's just rare that you get a challenge like this right out of the gate. As we said, it's happened 4 times in 21 years. So this is a big boy football game right out of the gate, and it's fun. So, you know, I'm excited to see them on tape and then grow them from that as we go. But you know, I'm proud of what they've done in camp. I like what I think we can turn out to be there, but we got to go play. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get better. Got to go play and do it.
Tony,